Switching over to that, and then the playlist.
Also, hi. Hello, Shy Sub Kitten. Welcome back to the stream.
More modeling.
More modeling, more donut.
The donut has a table, sort of.
Yeah, it's got a two-dimensional table. Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, I thought at the end of last stream that like the parenting wasn't working properly for me because it's like I tried moving it and the icing was not moving, and then I realized I had the donut selected. So like, and now I know that the way the models work when you parent them is that the parent has to be the one you move, because if you don't move,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
which makes
Yep.
sense because then you can adjust things if you need to.
And I should apologize. I wanted to more clearly go over inheritance. The concept of inheritance is a programming standard, and you're used to it. You just don't know it.
Okay.
But think of on your desktop, you've got a folder, and imagine there's a folder in a folder in a folder.
Yeah, I mean, like when you just look at the hierarchy,
Yes.
collection thing, like it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. So going with this concept, inheritance only goes one way naturally. So like that which defines an automobile can also define a scooter, like a motor scooter. But a motor scooter doesn't define a sedan accurately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the like and not only that, like going off of cars, but like, or even more simply, like Pokemon, right? So there's all kinds of Pokemon, and like a Charmander and a Charmeleon and a Charizard are different. Like the Charmeleon cannot exist without having first been a Charmander, and the Charizard cannot exist without first having been the Charmeleon. But Charmander and Charmeleon, they don't have wings, and they have different shades of orange. Well, I think Charmeleon is red, but regardless, like Charmeleon also has like that one horn at the back of his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's just a hierarchy of descending inheritance. So the parent, the donut has icing, but icing isn't a donut. So the way it's set up is whatever affects the stack at whatever level you're acting affects the entire stack beneath it. So you can move the icing and it moves, but when you move the donut, because of that linked inheritance, it moves both of them.
Yeah, and if there was something connected to the donut and I moved the donut, it moved the donut and whatever's connected to the donut, but still not the icing.
Yeah, and then you can even make another layer where, like, I think we're going to be doing sprinkles. We can make the sprinkles the child of the icing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but like,
that's,
like you put the sprinkles above the donut.
Yeah.
So then you could, if you really wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to.
Or below the donut.
Yeah. Well, I was saying if you put it above the donut, but below the ice, between the donut and the icing, and then you move the icing. Wait, no. What am I trying to say?
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I still get how it works, but I guess I'm trying to explain that I get how it works, but then.
Yeah, you make the sprinkles the child of the icing. Visually, you would put the sprinkles on top of the icing. In the scene collection, you would put the sprinkles
under
beneath
the icing.
Yes, underneath, and then like indented in a little bit to denote that relation.
Yeah.
But then you have to link the two.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Spirit. If you were hoping for me playing a game, this is the thing we do Thursdays now. Me learning how to model.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead and cast on Discord.
Yeah, right. He said this isn't what I had in mind when the title said modeling.
You caught them with your thirst trap.
I did. Here, I gotta switch back to Discord.
Alright, 1 second.
Share your screen. As soon as my brain remembers what I'm looking for. Screens. Capture device? No, screens. Could have sworn I could have. That's weird. It's not letting me capture Google specifically today, and that's okay. Screen one's dedicated to Google anyway.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it doesn't really matter.
Come to decorate our delicious looking donut with some sprinkles. So the feature we need for that is called...
This is part 6, geometry nodes.
Ooh, I haven't done anything with geometry nodes.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard the word before, but I don't actually know.
You can access it by going to the top of your screen. If you don't see it, just middle mouse drag across and you'll see the tab Geometry Nodes. So it's adjusted your screen layout. Don't get disorientated. Your donut is still there. This screen on the left here.
Yeah, what geometry nodes? I need to find that.
Very, very top of the screen.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the spreadsheet. Never needed it. Touch on wood, never will. So we can just close that, right click, join areas, and then just collapse it into it. Okay. So with your icing selected.
Right on the line between the two.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Join areas, go that way. Sweet.
Click the new button. So welcome to the world of geometry nodes. So geometry nodes is actually a modifier. So when we hit new there, we've added in a modifier called geometry nodes. And what the modifier is doing is whatever we want it to. Okay. So what this section down here is, this is a node-based system and it looks familiar, right? You got boxes with little lines and it's the exact same type of system that was used in our materials, right? But it's a completely different system, okay? So the same nodes will not be referenced between the completely different systems. So the way this works is our mesh that we've got here of our icing is what is being represented on the left-hand side with your input. It's then taking that mesh and it's feeding it all the way to the right, and it's going to spit out.
What's up?
Oh, one of my followers, Infernus. Hey, yeah, we're making donuts today. Hey.
It's a very long process.
Yeah.
Whatever is in your group output. So currently, nothing has changed because there's nothing between those points. But if I was, for example,
what did you get? What, you getting donuts to cops today, Technus?
I was to add in.
Whoa. Hold on. Hi.
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 You thought you were in a different BZ, didn't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a little hard to hear you over the music that's playing. That's okay. Yuki's playing music, but thanks for joining. I think normally I would invite others to join me in voice chat, but
you thought you were in a different VC, weren't you?
Well, we start with this one because Discord VCs seem to have issues for Yuki and I. So yeah, we were in the one that's open for everybody on the Discord. I have another one, but that's this. We have the best luck in the ritual chamber.
Yeah. When we do servers with Randy and everybody else, we have one server set aside for streaming and one set aside for just everybody that we know we can trust in one species.
Oh yeah, I've got that. I've got several separate ones too, but for some reason that one just has technical issues all the time. So
Just a connection issue?
usually just audio issues. I don't know why.
Ooh.
People's I don't know. Anyway, we're just gonna use this chat today though, just so we can get through the video without distractions.
Yeah, I just dropped by to say hi and make a joke about cops and donuts.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'll talk to you later. Oh, I need to send Randy a DM. Please remind me.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd have to talk with Uni, but we're actually planning something on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what he said. He stopped by and mentioned something. I have to
Oh, yeah.
send him a DM. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, later, man.
Bye. Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay. So what did he do? He added something.
He did add something, set position. Let's just go back.
A set was, for example, don't follow me, but just as an example. If
Oh,
I
don't
was to
actually
add
do
a
it.
set position node, drop this in here,
Gotcha.
and then change the position of the icing along the Z axis, you can see it's raised it. Okay, now the mesh, if I go into edit mode, is still there. The mesh has not changed. So we're not actually moving the object. This is just happening after the fact via a modifier. Okay, now obviously this would be a rather pointless use for geometry nodes to move it, because you could just move it. But as an example, let's say, I don't know, you had a scene where lots of objects, some of them are raised, some of them are not, and you wanted to quickly change them. What you could do with geometry nodes, in this case, you could actually expose this offset value by dragging it to the left over here. And when you do that, you can see it's now appeared over here in our modifier stack. What that means is whenever I'm in another part of Blender, say I'm like building stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to quickly, change the height of that icing, I've got it there whenever I need to. So essentially, this system enables you to build up your own tool that does something that you want it to do in a really flexible way. So it's really powerful. And before geometry nodes, I mean, Blender was kind of limited in what you can do, but I'll throw some examples here. But in the last 2 years since it's been in Blender, people have done some wild stuff with it. Most of this stuff really was just not possible in Blender before without doing custom scripting.
So it's animations. You just
Some of those, yeah, there's some animations there, but that drawing tool that created that incredibly detailed vine off of a line, that was insane. So that would be from scripting, I believe, is what he's talking about. Is like a lot of these are made from different tools that you just apply.
okay. Yeah. So I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around it. But
it's really opened up the doors. So it is a very different system. Like it's a different way of working than, just hands-on in 3D. But it's a really flexible, really valuable system. So any time spent learning geometry nodes, I think is time well spent. So we want to do sprinkles. And to do that, we need to, first of all, scatter some points onto our mesh. So to do that, hit Shift A for add, and then we're looking for point, distribute points on faces. Okay. And then it's just it's just going to put you in a placement state. And if you just mouse over that line there till it lights up, if you click, it's going to automatically connect it for you. And now you can see we've got points on our icing and a density value.
Whoa.
Great.
Whoa.
But you might notice the icing has
Star
actually
Fox?
disappeared. Ooh. Now the reason for that is we've told it, okay, take that icing object and convert it into points and then just give us the points back. Okay, so what we need to do is say, yes, we want the points, but we also want the original mesh. So we can do that by adding in a node that you use all the time, which is Shift A, Geometry, Join Geometry. So you'll find this node in probably any geometry nodes tutorial. Very versatile. So drop it in here after the points, and you'll notice this input here is a different shape. So normally inputs are circles or triangles or whatnot. This one is a long and elongated shape to signify that it can accept multiple inputs.
where's that other one? Distribute points on face.
That was let's see, Shift A, and then it was point,
Oh,
and then
okay.
distribute points on face. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Your avatar looks like a confused puppy tilting. I probably am tilting my head, actually.
Oh, is that my avatar?
No, that's me. It's my
Okay.
chat. My chat. I was reading my chat.
Gotcha.
Random
Inputs. Different shape. And find this node in probably any
intensity
Geometry Nodes tutorial.
2
Very versatile. So drop it in here after
or
the points.
whatever.
And you'll notice this input here is a different shape. So normally inputs are circles or triangles or whatnot. This one is a long and elongated shape to signify that it can accept multiple inputs. So unlike these where you can only accept one, this can accept many. So what we need to do is take the output of our original mesh and then feed it over to here. And now we have both the original mesh and we have our points, and they're being combined together and then put into our...
What? Oh my god.
That's really cool.
I'm glad. Oh man. Okay. Need to pay better
Okay,
attention.
yes.
First, I'm gonna add this join geometry. Although I need to actually know what I'm doing. I can't just parrot the guy and then have no idea what's actually going on.
Currently, there's been no preferences or settings or metrics changed at all. So it's really just been drag and drop.
Yeah, and he's explaining what is happening and not paying good enough attention to keep up.
Okay, yeah, we could review it all again.
Okay.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
No,
I know you were catching it, but I was not. That was me.
That's okay.
I will get more focused here.
Oh, that reminds me. Class or orientation sign up and class registration for college opened up this week. So
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet you're excited.
Yeah.
Onto our mesh. So to do that, hit Shift A for add, and then we're looking for point, distribute points on faces. Okay. And then it's just it's just going to put you in a placement state. And if you just mouse over that line there till it lights up, if you click, it's going to automatically connect it for you. And now you can see we've got points on our icing and a density value. Great. But you might notice the icing has actually disappeared. Ooh. Now the reason for that is we've told it, okay, take that icing object and convert it into points and then just give us the points back. Okay, so what we need to do is say, yes, we want the points, but we also want the original mesh. So we can do that by adding in a node that you use all the time, which is Shift A, Geometry, Join Geometry.
And that's
so you'll find this node in probably any Geometry Nodes tutorial. Very versatile. So drop it in here after the points, and you'll notice this input here is a different shape. So normally inputs are circles or triangles or whatnot. This one is a long and elongated shape to signify that it can accept multiple inputs. So unlike these where you can only accept one, this can accept many. So what we need to do is take the output of our original mesh and then feed it over to here. And now we have both the original mesh and we have our points, and they're being combined together and then put into our output. Okay, very cool, awesome. All right, so if we were to give this a render right now, you would actually see nothing because these points don't physically exist. They just exist in space.
I still don't see the icing.
You don't? I do.
How did go back a little bit, please?
We want them to show up in the render. So if our output, original mesh, and accept that it can triangle.
Okay, right about there. Yeah.
It's a different shape.
Okay.
So normally inputs are circles or triangles or whatnot. This one is a long and elongated shape to signify that it can accept multiple inputs. So unlike these where you can only accept one, this can accept many. So what we need to do is take the output of our original mesh and then feed it over to here. And now we have
you missed
both
that part,
the original mesh
connecting them,
and we have our points, and they're
I
being
connected the wrong
combined together.
one.
Oh, okay.
How do I disconnect cut links?
When in doubt, you can just right click. There's probably a menu.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Okay, so it's geometry 1. Okay, I went from the wrong geometry node. Whoops. Okay. There it is. Now, I don't see the sprinkles. I see like the orange outline, but I don't see any actual sprinkles.
He was getting to that because we don't have any like
Oh,
physical mesh to represent this, or we just have like points representing where the sprinkles would be if there was like an actual mesh.
yeah. Okay, okay.
There's yeah.
Together and then put into our output. Okay. Very cool.
I'm assuming you call the sprinkles the mesh. I'm just assuming mesh is like literally any kind of
And any kind of mesh.
visual.
It looks like
thing.
there's like an indicator of nodes that are being spawned on the geometry based on the density in the seed, but there's no actual mesh associated with it.
I mean,
Okay.
mesh I picked up a while ago is like
There's this.
the object visually. You know, like there's
Yes,
there's
the wireframe.
Yeah, there's the data that it's the wireframe in particular. Well, I suppose yeah, because the texture is not a mesh.
But there's nothing really assigned to this.
That makes sense why they call it a mesh then, because it's the
Oh,
wireframe.
it's the wireframe, yeah.
Oh, like a fence.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. All right, so if we were to give this a render right now, you would actually see nothing because these points don't physically exist. They just exist in the 3D space. If we want them to show up in the render, we have to tell it, what do you want to render them as? So for that, we need to add an object to be our sprinkle. So your sprinkle could be whatever you want. We're actually going to make 2 different types of sprinkles in this donut series. So we're going to start though with a very simple one, just a round ball. So just like you would add another object normally, Shift A, and then go Mesh, and then go UV Sphere. Now, this sphere is going to be referenced for every single sprinkle. Okay, so we want to go.
I don't have a sphere. What?
Shift A.
A mesh.
UV sphere.
UV pack, UV islands, and UV unwrap.
Try.
Is it because I have an maybe because I have an object? It's probably based on the. No.
It's probably because you have. Okay, so you've got.
No, I should have the icing selected.
No, have nothing selected.
Oh.
Because you're just adding a mesh to the scene. You don't really need to have anything selected.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then try Shift A, mesh.
Still just those 2 options.
What the?
I'm gonna go back and watch him do it
Go
again.
referenced, and then go UV. Like you would add another object normally.
He has the thing selected too.
Shift A, and then go Mesh, and then go UV Sphere. Now.
Oh,
okay.
That's what I did wrong. I did it in the wrong. I did it in the bottom half where the nodes are.
Oh.
that's what happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sphere. UV sphere. Okay.
This sphere is going to be referenced for every single sprinkle. Okay.
I don't actually see it though. I did the thing. Oh wait, no, I lied. I do see it. It's hiding under my donut.
Oh yeah.
So we want to go as low res as we can get away with. So I'm going to go with 12 segments and then 8 rings. If you're on a really slow computer and you think this is really going to suffer later on, you could go even lower, but I don't want to go too low because otherwise we're going to see that jagged edge because it's a rounded form. So I don't want to go too much lower than that. But I do want to adjust the scale because obviously this needs to be a tiny little sprinkle. So let's go 0.01. Okay.
Oh.
Awesome. All right, now with our icing selected again, you'll notice, by the way, that if you click another object, you don't see your nodes because it's only going to show you the active object's geometry nodes. So if you want the nodes to just be there no matter what, if you click the pin button there, that means no matter what is selected, it's only going to be showing you this object's, the one that we pinned, geometry nodes. Okay. All right, so to reference, we need to reference that little sphere that we've just created in our geometry node system. And you can do it very easily just by dragging down from your outline up here, just dragging it down into your geometry nodes and dropping it. Okay. So now let's just create some room here.
Wait,
Make a little bit of space. Okay. And what I need to do is add another node to reference this object. And the node is Shift A, instances on points, the top one. Okay, and then I want to drop it in here between distribute points on faces and my join geometry. So drop it in right there till it lights up. Now the points have disappeared because we're now saying replace those points with whatever is in that instance input. So I'm going to take my geometry from my object info and drag it into the instance. And look at that. We have got our spheres appearing all over it. And if I increase the density, we've got sprinkles. And if I do a render, it will actually display. Doesn't look very good, hey, but it does work, which is the main thing right now.
Bunch
Okay,
of disco balls.
first things first, you'll notice.
It's sick.
Okay. Are they there? I think they're there. Zoom in a lot.
Instance.
Yeah, they are there. Okay, it did work.
Just
Now, you
really
remember what
increase the
I-
density.
Really what?
Real quick. I just want to point this out. You know, on that box it says object info. There's a checkbox at the bottom that says as instance.
Yeah.
Now, this goes to what I was talking about, and we're probably not going to cover this, but I do want to point it out. But going back to inheritance, if you were to call a jelly-filled donut out of information that you've created from all of the object classes that you create to define what a jelly-filled donut is, you are calling an instance of that template jelly-filled donut to create a unique instance of a jelly-filled donut in the game world. So that instance inherits from the class jelly-filled donut, which inherits from the class donut, stuff like that. Anyway, that's just me going off on a tangent. I don't know if that is even relevant.
Yeah, I was trying to comprehend it.
All right, sorry. Never mind. I'm just
That's
rambling
okay.
then.
I mean, I'm curious, but okay, well,
First problem is that they're crowding each other. They are straight up overlapping each other with no respect for its fellow sprinkle, right? Because it's just a random distribution. So we can change that by going here in our distribute points on faces, change it from random distribution to Poisson disc distribution. Poisson. What a name. So it's changed, but that's just because it's changed your density max. So just increase it again.
Je m'appelle Poisson.
With this Poisson disc distribution, you get this extra value here, distance min. So now if we can set a low value, we can start to delete. It's almost like each one of those points now is going to have a little radius around it. And if it detects a point within that radius, it's going to delete it. So we just need to increase it slowly, very, very slowly, until we can't see them intersecting anymore. To about there, honestly. If you go too high, like if you really wanted to make sure they weren't touching, you go really high, but it starts to look like too evenly spaced, Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually registering the other objects. It's just doing this little radius thing, which just happens to be perfect for a ball-shaped object, but it's not like an advanced, like it's going to try to fill in all the gaps for you. So yeah, just kind of, I usually set it to like a little bit of clipping is okay, but I don't want there to be too much. But let's go, yeah, something like that. We'll actually adjust this later on. I'm just doing it just for this point. All right, a much bigger problem, if I hit Control Tab to go full screen here, if I look at my mesh, I've got sprinkles everywhere. And in fact, I've actually got sprinkles underneath the icing. And that's not good, because it's actually going to put that in the render. Even though you won't see it, your
it's just going to use up resources
to render little individual balls underneath the icing, which is not what we want, obviously. So, going back here, what we need to do to fix this is we need to do weight painting, okay? It's not texture painting, it's a special thing.
It's a word I've been hearing
called
lately.
Weight painting. So with your icing selected, if you go from your object mode, you'll see one there called weight paint. Now, your mesh will become blue, and weight paint is actually referenced in multiple parts of Blender. Like if you're doing rigging and
Oh, shit.
animation, you would use weight painting a lot during the rigging step to assign values to certain bones. Essentially what it's
You find it?
Weight paint, yes.
Okay.
doing is it's allowing you to paint a value between 0 and 1 onto any part of the mesh and then reference that however you want. So we can then reference that weight paint mask in our geometry nodes and use this almost as, well, exactly as a mask for our sprinkles. So if we just do some paint right here on it, you'll see that we have some colors, right? Now these colors aren't going to appear in the render. It's just for you to visualize those values. The blue value means a value of 0, and the red value is a 0 of 1. I believe actually in maybe not the next version of Blender, but maybe the version, I don't know, but they're planning to change the colors of this. So depending on the value, on how late watching this you are, your colors might be different here, but it should be the same. Essentially, you should have a brush of 1, and you should be able to paint from 0, which would give a blue value in this case, to a value of 1. So whatever is 1, whatever is red, is where our sprinkles will go. But you'll notice that this is not having any effect. Okay, so we need to reference it. Now, that weight paint that we just did is actually, if we go to our data tab here, it's actually a vertex group. Okay, so that's where that paint went. So you could actually create multiple weight paint types just by like creating them here. But we've just created one and it's added one here for us. So we can give it a name by double clicking it, and let's call it sprinkle mask. Okay, in fact,
I gotta find that.
Yeah, I'm still fucking around with my mask. Oh, fuck. There. Okay. Weight paint mask. Then what? Actually, let's
Which,
turn
yeah,
back.
which what did he click on?
Let's see. There's a
I clicked on Taurus in the scene.
Oh, I'm not
collection.
even there. I'm ready to.
is it opting it? But we've just created multiple AVG effect is where our sprinkles will go.
There.
But you'll notice that this is not having any effect. Okay, so we need to reference it. Now, that weight paint that we just did is actually, if we go to our data tab here, it's actually a vertex group.
Oh.
I do not have that menu. I've had it.
Do you have to...
I had it before. I don't know where the heck it went.
Oh, you have the actual menu selector minimized. So you see where the word icing is in white? Yeah.
Expand this. No.
Over by where the
Expand
white
that.
icing.
Ah, there we go.
There's a
Yep,
carrot.
I got it.
Oh, you did. Okay. Cool.
Except
Cool.
I also opened up this other one that I don't care about. Where did it go? Where did they?
That's the one. Yeah.
Where's the carrot to put it back? No, whatever.
I
There
think
we
you
go.
just
Oh, there we go. You just
squish it?
drag it back.
Oh,
That's what you do.
gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Now. Oh, down here though. Oh, I actually did open that up earlier. I just gotta figure out vertex here.
Okay, so that's where that paint went. So you could actually create
Oh, I haven't
multiple
actually
weight
done it
paint
yet.
types
That's why there's
just by
nothing
like
there.
creating them here.
Duh.
But we've just created one and it's added one here for us.
I'll just add one.
So we can
anyway.
give it a name by double clicking it, and let's call it sprinkle mask. Okay. In fact, is it a mask? It's more of a density, sprinkle density, I guess, because it's not a masking out. Anyway, all right, sprinkle density. Okay, and where I want to reference this in my geometry node stack is in the distribute points on faces. There is one value here called density factor, which we got when we used the Poisson disk thing. And this is just a value of 0 to 1. Very convenient. So if I drag out from here and then release, I can add in a new node and it'll just automatically connect it. And the node that you're looking for is called the named attribute. Don't feel bad if you're like, well, how would I know that it's called the named attribute? Because it's called vertex groups over here. You think like, okay, I'm going to type in vertex group, but it's an attribute, but it's one of many attributes, and geometry nodes can do many things. So it's just called the named attribute. So anyways.
Okay.
All right, so underneath name, we're just going to click that box and you'll get a pop-up or pop down, and you're looking for sprinkle
Darn it.
density.
Missed that too. Okay. I just want to see what he
Very
right-clicked.
convenient.
Or-
So if I drag out from here and then release,
drag
I can
out.
add in a new node and it'll just automatically connect it. And the node that you're looking for is called the named attribute. Don't feel bad if you're like, well, how would I know that it's called the named attribute? Because it's called vertex groups over here. You think like, okay, I'm going to type in vertex group, but it's an attribute, but it's one of many attributes, and geometry nodes can do many things. So it's just called the named attribute. So anyways. All right, so underneath name, we're just going to click that box and you'll get a pop-up or pop down, and you're looking for sprinkle density. And there it is. Haha. So now going back into weight paint mode, we can act like an artist and put the sprinkles wherever we want, sprinkles on our donut, which is really cool. So sprinkles are typically, they're like on a plate, and then the wet donut with icing on it is just like dabbed onto it. So you get like a heavy amount of sprinkles right on the top like that, and then less around the sides. And then I usually do like a few like dabs like this, just for some variance. And then also if you hold down Control, that will do so the weight that's being painted is 1, but if I hold down Control, it's going to do a negative value. And I can adjust my strength there as well. And I can just do some negative paints across it. Maybe a couple here as well. And I'm trying to deliberately make it look choppy, because I find that if you make it look too like uniform, then it just looks very boring and artificial. Because the real world would have more sprinkles collecting in certain areas than others, right? Maybe it's just like wetter on that part, right? So more would stick to it. Or more force was put on that part of the plate as the donut was dabbed into it, right? You just kind of have to think of this stuff, because in the digital world, it's far too easy to make something that looks predictable
Fake.
and boring, and we don't want that. But there we go, something like that. And you could obviously finesse it and make it better than what it is, but that's what we've got. You'll notice each of these spheres have a very jagged looking shape, and that's because the sphere itself down here. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this. If you want to quickly zoom to an object without having to find it and pan around, number pad period key. Probably should have mentioned that before, but we haven't really needed it because we have not worked with that many objects, but that'll focus to that object. If you're on a laptop, by the way, if you hold down the tilde key, that'll bring up this section here, and then you've got view selected right there. So tilde is that key underneath your escape key. But anyways, so this is what our sphere looks like. So right click, shade smooth, and now all those sprinkles have a shade smooth. Haha, very nice.
Wait, right click
All right,
what?
now let me
Shade smooth
How do
to make them not jagged. On the object, I think. Right click on sphere.
and object mode.
I think.
Oh, right click on sphere.
Oh, maybe you're right. Probably isn't an object mode.
Shade smooth. Yep. And now they're smooth. Cool.
I was saying that, but I don't actually remember exactly how to do it. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing.
You have to be in object mode, I think.
Right. And then object? No. Modifiers. Add modifier.
What you doing?
Right?
No, you're just in object mode and you select the sphere, right click the sphere, and then select shade smooth. It's
yeah,
not
you're.
a-
Yeah, okay. There, I got it.
Let me just show you a quick little issue that you might run into. If you were to duplicate your donut and create 2, and then on the second donut, you're like, hey, I want to have some spice in my scene. I don't want to have the exact same count of sprinkles across
yeah.
both donuts. Let's
In
give a
exact
different
same
value to this one
positions.
over here. Well, you can see that they are now sharing the
Yep.
same value because this node group here is being linked across both objects. But if you wanted, I mean, you could like, you know, make it its own single object so that they're not linked. But if you wanted everything else to remain the same, so that let's say you know, change the sprinkle at some point, that's preserved across it. But that one value you want to be different across multiple objects, you can expose it. So just like what I did at the start, if I drag out from the value I want to expose, and then I put it up to here in my group input, the empty slot, if I just release it, it's now disappeared, the value's disappeared from here, and it's now appeared in my modifier stack over here. And now I can put in a different value. So this has now got a value of 2000 and this one is 500. So essentially by dragging it out and exposing it, it's essentially removing the value from this node setup and saying this is its own separate thing, which is independent per object. And it has a two birds, one stone kind of effect that it makes it more accessible. So in a completely different part of Blender, I'm working on my scene and I'm just very quickly giving different sprinkle amounts to different donuts, right? Like a madman, right? No one can stop me. But yeah, very cool. And that's now exposed. Oh, the other thing we probably want to do though, with that, this group input here, is I want to give it a different name because density max, you know, not really that useful. I can call it sprinkle density, right? So now it's like a fully customized little node group that I could drop on any object. I could be building a car in the future and I'm like, it needs sprinkles. And I can just drop this on it and I've got a sprinkle density value for my car, right? So you can see how geometry nodes, you can build something really customized for what you want. And then it's just readily accessible every time you need to use it. Awesome. Now, one issue that I will show you with this.
Hold on, how did he rename that?
Yeah, I honestly.
And actually,
I
it's
could benefit
fully
from it.
customized little node group that I could drop on these with, and that's now exposed. Oh, the other thing we probably want to do though, with that, this group input here, is I want to give it a different name because density max, you know, not really that useful. I can call it sprinkle density.
Hold on,
right?
So
now it's like a fully customized little node group that I could drop on any object. I could be building a car in the future, and I'm like, it needs
attributes,
sprinkles.
internal dependencies. No,
So,
he's going through this real fast.
yeah, he is.
And I can just drop this on it and I've got a sprinkle density value for it needs sprinkles. And I can just drop this on it and I've got a building. Now it's like a full, I can call it a different name because density max, you know, this group input here.
Oh, it's that menu on the right.
Oh,
That one that I accidentally popped out
there it is.
earlier.
Yeah. This we don't need. How do I delete things?
So, okay.
Oh, whatever. So he typed in description. What do you call
No,
it?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't description. It was. Click down on interface. And then the one that is called density max. It says there's like geometry and then density max. It's literally just double clicking on the one that's called density max and renaming it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Special
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Is I want to give it a different name because density max, you know, not really that useful. I can call it sprinkle density, right? So now it's like a fully customized little node group that I could drop on any object. I could be building a car in the future and I'm like, it needs sprinkles. And I can just drop this on it and I've got a sprinkle density value for my car, right? So you can see how geometry nodes, you can build something really customized for what you want. And then it's just readily accessible every time you need to use it. Awesome. Now, one issue that I will show you with this, and actually it's not specific to geometry nodes, but this entire time for all these videos, we've been building a donut which is too big. So if you hit N in your properties, oh, that's the polygon thing, you can see
we're working like
the dimensions of your donut
scale
is
enormous.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah.
1.2 by 1.2 meters, which for Americans, you can change it. You could change your units to the wacky Imperial one.
No, that's
Yeah,
no
4
fun.
feet, right? Okay. Which is
Your freedom units.
way too big. Okay. Now, why does it matter, right? Because, like, okay, if you're looking at this, how are you to actually know that this is 1.2 meters rather than the regular size donut? It doesn't actually matter yet, but when we get to like rendering with depth of field, or maybe you want to import other objects from other scenes, having a value that is actually true to the object will save you so much time, and it'll also make it so that your camera settings, etc., are actually correct. So that bit is very important. So essentially, we should resize this. And really, a real donut is about 12 centimeters, which is exactly 1/10 of what we've got right here. So if we select everything in the entire scene, which you can do by just hitting A for everything, I don't know, A for all, yeah, that makes more sense, okay. Then if we hit S to scale, okay, we're now in a scale, oh, actually, okay. Well, now it's gonna scale it and the plane is gonna be off the ground. Okay. All right, well, let's not scale the lamp and the camera. So everything else, selecting the donut, the lamp, the donut, the plane, and the sphere. Then S, and then I want to scale it by exactly 10%. Now, how could I do that? Well, if you look in the top left-hand corner, you've got the values there. And if I went to 0.1, then it would be exactly 1/10 of what it was. But how can I get it exactly at 0.1? Well, two things. One, if you hold down Control, when you're moving any value in Blender, it'll move it in increments, which in this case is 0.1. But you can also actually just type in the exact value you want, 0.1, and hit Enter. And now, if we look at the size of our donut, click N, hit N, you can see it's 0.12 meters, or centimeters, you know. Anyway, and that's great. But there is a problem. What you might notice, I mean, there's not a problem now, but when you change the scale or the rotation of an object, actually, it's only changed its, its local scale. It hasn't actually applied it on a global level yet. So the sprinkle here and the donut have actually got a like pretend value. The scale is set at 0.2, and it's almost like it's saying to the scene, that's not its real scale. It's just been faked to be that size yet. It needs to be applied if you want to like confirm really that this is the true scale or rotation of the thing. And you do that by selecting the things and then hitting Control A and then applying scale. Okay, so now we've done that, we can see something's changed. So our donut here with the sprinkles has now massively changed its density count. And the reason for this is that if we go geometry nodes again, let's zoom in here. Let's look at it with this. This density, this sprinkle density, is actually not the count of sprinkles at all. It's the density in relation to the whole scene. And the way I think of it is like, okay, it's a weird visualization, but if you've got a car and it's driving along a highway, right, a certain amount of bugs are going to hit the windshield, okay? And the bugs could be defined by here, but the smaller the object is, right, you could have the same amount of bugs going across the highway, but if it was like a tiny Matchbox car, there's going to be very few bugs that's going to hit it, okay? So the density is kind of like the density of the world, and now that we've...
That's what he's explaining.
No, like
You
his
mean like
Explorer. Yeah, I don't see any.
Did you go back to the geometry nodes tab?
I'm trying, but there's nothing in it.
Because all of my nodes are still there.
Oh, yours even says geometry nodes, but what? Mine just says new. What?
You didn't have to save anything, so it's not like it got, deleted or something.
But like, I can't even select any of the geometry nodes. What is going on here? Oh. Network error.
It just crapped out on you.
Your player did, but I'm checking. I'm still streaming, yeah.
Wait, mine says network error?
Yeah, but that was just, I was watching you.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
it's not me.
but
Okay.
yeah, where yours says geometry nodes, like I, geometry nodes. Just give me geometry nodes. Fuck. I'm gonna join areas, and then. Okay. The layout. Oh, jeez. After the scaling, my lighting is way off. I don't even know how to adjust that, but... Alright, back to geometry nodes. Oh, fuck. Now he's got multiple windows open in geometry nodes. How did he open those?
They were still there from before. Mine were still there from before. That's why I was saying, like, they should still be there if you go to the Geometry Nodes tab, because they don't just go away.
What is the name of that window at the bottom even called? I have to look that up.
Oh, yeah, what the window's called? Yeah, I don't know. We call it an area, in general. They are called areas. It's not...
Areas, okay.
But, yeah, I don't know what the one on the bottom is called.
Split your view between splitting a window. Hover over with your cursor in the upper left corner of your geometry nodes window. Cursor, choose your crosshair type. Okay. Oh, okay, crosshair type. Okay. Where was I? Click and drag downwards to open a new window? No. Whoa. That's not quite what I was going for. Join. Oh, I can do.
I also see vertical and horizontal split if you
I,
right-click area options. Or right-click for area options.
I just saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's, okay, so I've got that, and then drop down to global. Oh fuck. Object mode. No. He's got his. I don't think that's. I'm just gonna join over that. There's gotta be another. Okay, hold on. I'm going back to this.
You clearly just accidentally closed the area somehow if you don't see that
Yeah.
area. Like, it's still there. Everything's still there. You're just gonna have to figure out how to bring that area back up.
Spreadsheet, geometry nodes. Okay. Yeah. No, the undo. Let's see. Undo history isn't really giving me anything I need. All right, horizontal split. Well, how is he controlling this window?
Well, he never closed it,
So yeah, well, he opened it earlier, but
Oh, he did? Well, I mean, maybe we can
then
find
switch
it
it to a 3D viewport area. What? How do you do that? Okay. Blender window is divided into a number of rectangles, areas. Resizing, splitting, joining, area options, join, swap, duplicate, toggle. Well, how do you change it? God damn it.
I think what he changed before was he switched to layout mode, and then he switched back to geometry node tab. The layout tab, you know, like the default, like the home tab, I guess you could say.
Right, but at the beginning of the project, when we initially went to geometry nodes, we actually had to set this up.
Yeah, he removed an area that we never use.
But it's a really flexible, really valuable. For 2 years and there, you do that exact.
Oh, it's farther back
So
than that.
what
Okay.
is close. The
Oh my God,
time
it was
is
right at the
freckles.
beginning,
Top of
okay.
your it's still there. This screen on the left here, it's called the spreadsheet. Never needed it. Touch on wood, never will. So we can just close that. Right click, join areas, and then just collapse it into it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
but
with your icing selected,
So what I'm looking at, you see where it says plus new?
Yeah.
Like mine is just the exact same as the window up above.
Like your viewport looks like that?
Yeah, I've just got two exact same viewports.
Maybe you did somehow lose all of your progress. It looks exactly like this.
It looks, well, the bottom looks exactly like the top.
Or you mean like it's just two viewports?
Yep.
Oh. Oh, okay. That's different than what I thought you were telling me.
Area options, right mouse bar.
Because I did notice, yeah, with the
area
tool
options.
tip for the split says split selected area into new windows, which does imply that it duplicates it. Ouch.
Yeah,
Which is not what I thought it would do.
join.
But you might be able to change it though.
So that's what I was thinking.
Like once you have it, yeah, like just because you duplicated it doesn't mean that you're stuck with that. I would think.
But like, why
Yeah.
can't I just have the thing that I need? God damn it.
There's got to be a
Ugh.
way, and once we do finally find out how, it's probably going to be like, oh my God, that's so stupid easy.
Properties, asset browser? No, spreadsheet. Wait, I think I see it.
Well, if you figure out how to bring up the spreadsheet, you can figure out how to do the other stuff. It'll be the same process.
Text, edge, face, control, point, spline. What the fuck? Shader editor. Wait, graph, drivers, text, Python, outliner.
Or no thought.
I thought it was. What is that area called that he's even looking at?
I just brought up your stream to see what you're looking at here. You definitely have something random up.
Like this, it defaults the 3D viewport, but like there's the image editor. We're not doing anything with that. UV, compositor, texture, geometry.
Geometry node editor.
There. Oh my god, it was. Wait, hold on. No, I've got to be. That's on the plane.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
but those
on
are
the
all
icing.
different.
There we go. Oh,
I'm glad I went to your stream because then I like saw.
that helped. It really did.
Yeah, I
Holy
saw exactly
shit.
how you brought up all those windows, and then I was like, oh yeah, and then I just clicked the same button, and then mine was highlighted.
I'm gonna save before I lose all my progress. What
Oh,
the hell
yeah.
are we doing now?
We are. This video is actually almost over.
Oh, okay.
He's
Oh, sprinkles. Why can't I see sprinkles?
density.
Dense.
Because you brought down the size, right?
Yeah, I brought down
You
the
you
size when we
resized
scaled
it. He was explaining how well, before everything went to shit for you, he was explaining how because it's a smaller scale, like the scaling is like the same, but because the object is smaller, well, she's got a metaphor.
We can see something's
densities
changed.
are
So
not there.
our donut here with the sprinkles has now massively changed its density count. And the reason for this is that if we go geometry nodes again, let's zoom in here. Let's look at it with
How goes
this.
the modeling? It's
This density,
we're almost done
this
with one
sprinkle
video
density,
since we
is actually
started.
not the count of sprinkles at all. It's
We're adding sprinkles. Well, we added sprinkles. We're like just wrapping up that video.
the density in relation to the whole scene. And the way I think of it is like, okay, it's a weird visualization, but if you've got a car and it's driving along a highway, right, a certain amount of bugs are going to hit the windshield, okay? And the bugs could be defined by here, but the smaller the object is, right, you could have the same amount of bugs going across the highway, but if it was like a tiny Matchbox car, there's going to be very few bugs that's going to hit it, okay? So the density is kind of like the density of the world, and now that we've made the object smaller, there's only 3 sprinkles left. There's only 3 bugs that's hit the windshield of our donut here. So this value now needs to be much bigger. In fact, it needs to be exactly like if it was 6,000 before, it needs to be, yeah, 60,000 now.
Oh yeah,
but the problem is that it's
like
not just a value
10
here.
times as
The
many.
Distance min value has also changed because this is also based on a real world value. So this now needs to be really small. So let's try 0.01. And that's
Wait, what's it
actually
changing?
pretty good.
The distance minimum, yeah.
Oh gods. Okay.
Oh yeah, I
Point.
suppose that makes sense.
Jeez, come on. Point.
0.001.
There we go. There we go.
I probably need to bring that up even more. I just keep. I didn't just pick a number like you did. I just keep dragging it until I feel happy. I literally just like, I so don't ever eat donuts that I don't even know what's even appropriate amount of sprinkles. Hello, Bush. We're back doing the donut. We have sprinkles. Okay.
I think there's a little bit of overlap, but that's roughly kind of what we want. And let's see if I can increase this. Yeah, so if I want this density to be really dense, yeah, I would have to increase it to a crazy number. Now, something I like to do personally, this isn't, you have to do this, but you notice how like this number is really large. And if I want to increase or lower my sprinkle value, and I'm in a different part of Blender, if I'm just dragging this value, it's having no effect because the range, like the scale
so
of it is
huge,
just so
yeah.
large. So what I actually do is I set it to a value that I think makes sense, which in this case is 200. And then whatever the value was before,
Oh yeah.
it was
Right. Well, I mean, I am
200,000, right? I do a math value inside of
I am
my
in a,
geometry
it's
node
both.
setup.
I am in a
Between
voice
here
chat and watching
here,
a video.
I do a math
Hi.
calculation to multiply
is
that
Techness.
by the value that it needs to be, almost as like a scale adjustment. So you can do it with just one node, Shift A, Utilities, Math,
Utilities.
and just drop it in here. Now the math, I said I want to multiply it.
What do you mean math? I have to do math?
No.
I know I
We're
don't
putting
actually have
something
to do
into-
math. I know.
Oh. We're putting in something to do math for us.
Shift A. I gotta watch him do it again.
Its value,
Shift A,
it's having no
math,
effect
math.
because the range.
Oh,
We're probably gonna multiply.
have I forgotten how math is spelled? I don't see it. Shift A. Well, search.
Oh, you
Just
have to be in
search.
the geometry node tab.
Too late. I searched.
Oh,
Shift A. Math.
there you go.
And then wait, what am I adding it to? Geometry.
Sprinkle density going to density max.
Okay. Yep.
Putting it on.
And
range, like the scale of it is just so large. So what I actually do is I set it to a value that I think makes sense, which in this case is 200. And then whatever the value was before, it was 200,000, right? I do a math value inside of my geometry node setup between here and here. I do a math calculation to multiply that by the value that it needs to be, almost as like a scale adjustment. So you can do it with just one node, Shift A, utilities, math.
oh, it was utilities math.
And just drop it in here. Now the
Oh,
math,
I'm sorry.
I said I want
Yeah,
to
it's okay.
multiply it, so I need to change it from add to a multiply. And math is the most versatile of any node. You can do all sorts of stuff, but multiply.
Imagine
so
that.
multiply, and it was 200,000 before. So if I want this value 200, then I just add 1,000. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So now I can very quickly change the scale of the sprinkles across the donut without having to like manually type in the value. I can just move it back and forth.
Oh,
And there you go. So that's it. So
hold on.
we've changed the scale of it to what it should be.
Oh my god, I totally overdid it.
my blender is not responding.
Probably because it just added like, if you successfully did the value 1000, it probably just did so many freaking things at once. Cause mine. Oh my.
Maybe a 0. Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna have to kill that.
Yeah, you probably totally just that was just too much for it at once. Probably. I'm
I
guessing.
thought I was changing the scaling, but yeah, you're right.
Because if you look at mine, what it did to mine, adding 1000 when I only had 414 for a value.
Oh.
Yeah, imagine whatever you had. Imagine what it did there.
Oh boy. Let's see. I did not add the math yet. You're in the geometry notes.
Oh,
Right.
well then something else must have gone wrong.
I saved very recently, so
Yeah.
I'm actually quite fortunate. But I don't see the.
I think 1000
whatever.
is too big.
Uh,
100 looks way
utilities.
better.
And multiply. Go to control. Sprinkle density is super low, so let's see. What do I need? I don't. I've just got like 2 sprinkles.
Yeah, what's your sprinkle modifier? What is the value?
I think it's about 600,000 now, and I was working up from 23. I just dropped it down super low. What the hell? Now it's like not responding again.
Did you restart it?
I'll have to kill it again. So weird. This is why you should never scale. Scaling is
maybe
bad.
not. Well, I
Like,
mean, it's still good that he
Matt-
taught it, but
Yes, yeah, you have to go through it, but this is a very good reason why massively scaling your items is really bad. I think I'm just, you know what, on that note, it's immediately, oh, okay. I'm going to scale everything. Back. Geometry nodes. Okay. Sprinkle density. Oh, I'm getting some sprinkles now. I'm gonna save, and then we're gonna try and add another math and try and do this again. Gods. Multiply value of 100. 1,000.
Yeah, you're right. Nothing's changing.
The fuck?
And your sprinkle density is like stupid huge too.
Yeah.
Like it, either that large, you shouldn't even have to do the multiply thing.
Let this calculate a bit. And not responding. Damn it.
I think it is getting hung up trying to render it. I mean, that's the only thing I can
Oh.
think of. I don't know what else.
Wait. It's back again, but like there's nothing here. Like I can.
Oh yeah, like they should have come in by now. Even if it was struggling.
Turn the.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck is going on?
Did he ever show us how to get rid of the ones underneath the icing too?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
Well, it was with the surface mapping, so they get spawned on the surface of the icing object, but then they just like flip through.
Yeah, okay. As long as it's not adding like more that you're not even gonna see
Oh,
anyway.
wait a minute. Hold on. He did something. He like applied the scaling changes. What was that?
Oh, he applied the.
Shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
applying them. Yeah, because it's like he changed it, but it didn't actually apply it. Oh my god, I forgot how he did that. I did it. I think that's what I went to layout. Is that what I went to layout for? I don't think you have to go to layout for that, but it was oh, it was what was it?
Pressing.
What was it? Control A or something? Oh my god, what was it? Or Control S? No, I'm looking here. I'm trying to. He had everything selected, everything that was not like the camera and the lighting, and then what did he click again? Oh, I'll go back. Oh wait,
Object.
I'll just go back and look.
Just been faked to be that size yet. It needs to be applied if you want to like confirm really that this is the true scale or rotation of the thing. And you do that by selecting the things and then hitting Control A and then applying.
It was
scale.
Control A. Okay.
Okay, so now we've done that.
Control A for apply, and then you click scale when the menu comes up.
Oh, okay. All right, now this is calculating for me. It's probably gonna die. It's currently not responding. It might come back.
Fingers crossed.
If not, then I can. I have other options. And that is a second. Not looking good.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've had programs come back from that before.
So have I, but it's kind of few and far between. I'm just going to kill it. That's okay.
Okay.
Where's my task manager? Okay. I want to turn the scaling down first. Scale back the objects. Turn the density down. So that was here in the sprinkle density. Yeah. 20. And then we'll put nothing there for now. Back to the layout. A for all. Oh, this is apply scale. Aha. Okay, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the sprinkles are back.
I think you applied it to your camera too, but
that's okay. It's
Yeah.
just scaling.
yeah.
The camera doesn't actually scale in size. It's just kind of moved
Okay.
with everything else relatively.
I just remember him
so-
offhand mentioning something about it, but I don't know anyway.
Math here, and then we multiply value of 100. Yeah, look at those sprinkles.
I don't know why that just magically worked. But
It was because I had the scaling all fucked up.
oh,
It must not have taken my scale apply from the standard instructions.
right.
Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Save.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe I'll save.
Oh, yeah, which means we can go back to oh no. There we go.
We can see something's changed. So our donut here with the sprinkles has now mass value.
Okay, we did that.
So this now needs to be
Actually, I think it's
really
just-
small. You have to do this, but you notice how like this number is really large. And if I want to increase or lower my sprinkle value, and I'm in a different part of Blender, but you can multiply to
I think that's it for this video.
across the donut. And there you
You
go.
might be right.
So that's it. So we've changed the scale of it to what it should be. We've got a correct we've got a correct sprinkle setup, looking good. In the next part, we are going to be adding long sprinkles to our donuts
I wondered
because
about that.
this round one is okay. And I originally was just going to go round to try and keep it
Yeah.
simple, but there's also, I don't know, the long sprinkles just look way nicer. But you do have to do some different rotation math and stuff. So
Yeah,
we're
look at
gonna do
those.
a whole second
Yeah.
video. So click here on the screen. To
I was
learn
wondering,
about
yeah,
that
rotation and
random
stuff.
colors. So I will see you in that part.
We've got round sprinkles. Why not long sprinkles?
Long
It'll be more
boy.
interesting, and it'll enable us to learn some new techniques about Blender, which is what this whole series is about. So first things first, we need to model those sprinkles. So let's move to the left here, and we want to add an object. We haven't mentioned it before, but when you add an object, it's going to put it at your 3D cursor, and your 3D cursor is that thing. That weird little thing, little crosshair at the bottom there, that's your 3D cursor. And yeah, I don't know, Blender has a 3D cursor, maybe other applications don't. It's gonna put it there. And if you don't want it there, you can move that 3D cursor somewhere else by hitting Shift and right clicking. And you can see it's now moved it and actually attached it to the plane, which is where we would want it. If you don't have a mouse, do get a mouse. But in the interim, you can also use the cursor tool and that'll do the same thing. All right, so we're adding long sprinkles. So obviously the object that we want to add is Shift A, Mesh, it's the cylinder. Okay. Too big by default. So let's click this little thing, bring this up, change the radius all the way to its lowest and the depth all the way to its lowest as well. And the vertices, that's the like the resolution, right? Oh, we'll fix that in a sec. The resolution would be way too high at 32 to be scattered on an object. So let's set this to 12, and that'll be just enough that it won't look jagged and it'll look smooth. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna move this up just so it's above the plane, Z. Okay. Now, this problem that you have, if you go in too far, it disappears. The reason for that is that Blender has a clipping start value. And because we're working at such a small scale, we've got sprinkle-sized things now, it's too small and it's clipping it out. So if you hit N and go to your View tab, the clip start value there, it's 1 centimeter by default, drag it all the way to the left, and it's now a millimeter, and it will have fixed that. I don't know why it's not the default. Like, maybe somebody can tell me, why is that not the default value? Maybe that.
I hit N. Which one was it?
I
There's a
just saw
reason,
it.
but
Let's
to
go
me, that left, and it's now a millimeter value there.
start
It's
and
1
end.
centimeter by default. Drag it all the way to the left, and it's now a clip start value out. So if you hit N and go to your View tab,
Oh, View.
the clip start
I
value
missed that
there,
part.
it's 1 centimeter by default. Drag it all the way to the left, and it's now a millimeter, and it will have fixed that. I don't know why it's not the default. Like, maybe somebody can tell me, why is that not the default value? Maybe there's a reason, but to me that would make sense, because then you never have this problem. I don't know any disadvantages. So anyway, we've got the base of a sprinkle. Need to make it long, so tab into edit mode, S, scale it Z along the Z axis to elongate it, and now we've got the rough length of a sprinkle. But how long is a sprinkle? There's no actual answer to that. If you look at reference, they are all over the place. The government evidently never stepped in and said, like, we're going to regulate it. This is the length of a sprinkle. This is the size of a sprinkle. I mean, it's the Wild West out there. They're doing crazy things. So what that means as artists is we get to pick whatever is most visually pleasing. And I like the ones which are more readable. And to show you what I mean, if we pull up 2, right? This one on the left is like large sprinkles, right? Very like bold. And then one on the right here is like long, thin, wispy ones that look like they get stuck in your teeth. And if we zoom out on this and then zoom out on this, you can see that the ones on the right tend to kind of like, the colors and everything just kind of blur together and it just looks like a donut. Whereas the one on the left, the sprinkles are still readable. So
Yeah.
that's what we mean by readable, and that's the one I like the most. So we're gonna go with some larger looking long sprinkles, but you can see that the sizes, there's no standard size because I think it's actually like, it's from a piping bag, at least if you make them at home, but you can just pipe out icing and then when it dries, you just smash it up and it becomes sprinkles. But yeah, they just come out at any odd size. So we got long ones, we got medium ones, we got short ones, and we've even got some curvy looking ones, right? These little like just slightly bent-ish looking ones. So we're gonna model small, medium, large, and a bent-ish looking one, and then we're gonna scatter that across the object. So back in Blender, this is going to be, yeah, this.
I'm still trying to find my cylinder. Like, it's there. I just, I don't know.
Oh, you could go into press tilde and then select front. Oh, yeah, you're okay. That's why. That's another reason why scaling is
View
weird. 'Cause,
selected.
you. Oh, now I see where you're at. Yeah. View selected is like an orthographic view, and like front view and left view, top view are like isometric ISO views, but like a single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god.
But then you once you select one of those views, you zoom out.
I am upside down. Oh, that's great. Also, they can't zoom in anymore either. Like, that is the limit.
Oh yeah. So your camera that you're viewing from is upside down. Just kind of rotate that back into place. One way or the other, it'll go back.
It's rotating the item. How do you rotate the camera? Oh my god. We never had to rotate the camera.
With the middle mouse button.
Yeah, the middle mouse is... I can look around. I can't rotate.
What?
Bro, look at my stream.
Yeah, I'm watching, but like, why can't you keep moving your camera? Does it stop?
I mean, I can do this, but what I'm saying is like I'm still. Oh, never mind. Oh, except now it's inverted. The you know what I mean? Left is right and right is left. Or is it? Or am I just confused? I think I'm just confused.
You're confused because you are very close. You're close, but you're off from what you're trying to focus on. Everything's normal. It's a little disorienting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, you just kind of gotta pan around until you've got your camera where you want it to be.
I can't. Oh, no, I can still zoom out. Okay. Yeah. No, it's because I'm rotating around the cylinder that I can't actually see. That's why. Yeah, that just felt weird because I'm rotating around the. Wait, am I though? Because then I zoom in and I'm zooming in on nothing.
Yeah, you're not
Okay.
fixed. No.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to not get frustrated. I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out what am I doing wrong? What am I so confused? Actually, I'm trying to figure out what I'm confused about at this point.
So there's once you zoom in, there's only so far that you can zoom in.
Yeah, so it's like I can't even look at the cylinder the way he is.
Yeah, so zoom out, scroll down with the mouse wheel, and then pan around. Because your camera does have like a focal area. It's
Yeah,
not really shown.
It's definitely.
You just gotta move your camera around until you get like a better view on your scene that you want.
I want to see the cylinder that I've placed, and I freaking can't. I think it popped in like right below the donut, and I can't manipulate the cylinder that I can't see.
It's right there.
Right where?
It's that orange dot, right? It's tiny, right?
Probably.
So just press G and then press Z and then move your mouse up.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I like literally forgot that I could do that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, there it is.
Still can't like. That's as close as I can get. How is he getting right up there?
Imagine this is a really weird concept to explain. I'll do my best. Imagine you stick your arm out straight from your face. You put your shoulder right on your nose and you stretch your hand out. Now your camera is your eyes, and what your camera is focused on is the tips of your finger. Your arm doesn't actually exist, but as you mouse wheel in and out, you're moving your head back and forth. You can only move your head so far forward before you like struggle to scroll and zoom in a little further. But your fully outstretched hand is always going to be far away from you. But you can stretch further away from your hand. So what you need to do is you need to just position your shoulders and your head. You position your whole body and your invisible arm so that the object that you're trying to work on is just closer to you, so that your zooming functions a little better. I hope that makes sense.
I think so.
So instead of like the sprinkle that you're working on, instead of it being on the tip of your finger, you want it to be at your elbow, and then you can kind of like zoom in at a more comfortable point.
I think this is one thing Blender has to figure out, because it's like, why can't I just like hold W and move forward? Or up arrow and move forward. You know what I mean? Like, why has it got to be a zoom? Why can't I just move the camera that I'm looking for the viewport?
You do that by holding Shift and then using holding the middle mouse button and dragging. So like if you don't hold Shift, you're just rotating the camera. But if you hold Shift, then you're panning the camera.
That's strafes. That does not move forward. I mean,
Correct.
like,
So
it's,
then look 90 degrees to the left of the right, and then pan to the left of the right, and then rotate 90 degrees back so that you're looking at your item again. You should be closer.
I hate this.
I know that there are better ways to do it. I think that there are better ways to do it.
At 4.4 point whatever, Blender should know that there are better ways to do it too. They've been around like 20 years. They should freaking know
Well,
better by now.
it's more like the industry hasn't really made any better tools, because once you get used to the panning and the zooming, you don't really need much else. But it's also really weird to get used to.
There are a lot of other things they probably didn't need either, but they made shortcuts anyway.
Yeah, there could be that too. Yeah.
I want to scream because it's like here, look at this. I'm either like too close or it disappears. Now it's disappearing if I just. And that's me trying to zoom in just a one more notch, you know, like it's just disappearing.
That what even is that? That can't be.
That's what
Oh,
came
yeah.
up when I grabbed and
Zoom out further. I don't know what that. Wait, you moved a vertex. That's a vertex. That's not an
Oh.
object. Yeah, you're in edit mode. That's a single vertex. Oh god.
Oh, that explains a lot actually. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Oh my god. I'm just glad we figured it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even mad. just-
You got one hell of a sprinkle there, bro. Fucking impale somebody with that sugar.
Where? Yeah, now it's like I gotta
perfect murder weapon.
gotta scale it now or something.
Oh yeah. So like he stretched it out by scaling it, and you can with the keyboard you can get S and then Z, and then move the mouse up.
That's just making it shorter.
Up or
Scale
down?
along Z.
Yeah.
You want to make it a pill?
So pull
Or,
the
like-
mouse away from the center, because you want to make it kind of long. So
Yeah.
So you want to stretch it. You pull the mouse away from.
I just don't know how long
There
I
you
want it. I feel like I don't want it that long.
Okay. No, I'm
You
just behind you on
you
the
have a
stream.
delayed view, yeah.
Yes,
lag.
yes.
Yeah, probably like there or something. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Cool. I think we're at the same point now.
I think we can get back to the video, yeah.
This will be the short one, okay? But the end, speaking of which, this end bit here, it's a very sharp edge. And even if we hit shade smooth, it's not going to solve it. We want that like a rounded form to it, not this horrible blobby looking shape. Because the reference, again, you can see, it's a different reference now, is a rounded shape, all right? So to create that rounded form, we're going to create a bevel. And so I want you to go into face select mode, okay, which you can do by that. So this is the faces, right? This is the edges.
Face select.
If you go to
right,
edge select
right,
mode, and then this is the face there. So select the bottom and the top face like that.
Oh,
And then we're going to add a
right.
bevel, which will immediately become clear.
I've still got to try and get my camera in a better spot. It's still not like great. I like can't get right in on that vertex.
You could try recreating it. Just delete it and make a new cylinder. Because then you get it at the length that you want it. You don't have to worry about a flyaway vertex.
Well, that wasn't the issue anymore because I control Z'd enough to.
Ah.
But
okay.
actually, no, I control Z again. Because I think the cylinder is fine. It's just like I cannot get close enough to really, I can't, like, look how close he is to his thing. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't. Unreachable. It's the moon.
So
He has a
that
rocket.
means-
I don't.
and I kind of use the plane for like reference. Your sprinkle is floating way up in the middle out
Yep.
there, right? So if you take that sprinkle and you put it really
Move it
close to
down.
the plane, you'll be able to pan the camera and get better like reference.
References. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Holding shift and I'm middle mousing and oh, it's actually rotating the cylinder instead of moving the camera. The hell? Why? I can barely see that the cylinder is like rotating as I hold shift and middle mouse. Well, now it's panning. I don't know why. That was weird. I don't know.
Blender's just kind of weird.
I'm also realizing I don't have to keep picking the mouse up and moving it every time I get to the edge of the window, because the cursor's just gonna Pac-Man right side to the left side.
That's a good way of like describing it too.
Yeah. I'm gonna scream. There's no reason. I'm sorry. There's no reason that I can't just move the camera. Like I understood what you were trying to tell me before with the arm and the head thing, but there's no reason I can't just move my arm closer to the object. Like there's no reason they couldn't have put that function in. I'm so mad about that. Why are you making my life so difficult by not, like, just a video game? Just press W to walk forward. You know what I mean? It's not hard. It's not hard. There's no way that they can't put that in there.
It seems so intuitive to even do that too. I'm surprised they haven't done anything
I'm
like that yet.
absolutely baffled that, like, this is open source, right? Somebody's got to have it. But I could just freaking put that in there. There's no way. There's no way that there's no way that you can't.
Okay, so now that you're here, view from above. Just rotate your camera to view it from above, and then center.
See how far I am now?
Center the viewport on the cylinder from above, and then
with the tilt.
With a what? Oh, no. Just rotate the camera using middle mouse button. And then you just pan so that you move the camera so it's viewing the sprinkle directly from above, and then rotate around from there. You should have a better viewing angle.
That's the best I can do from the top.
Okay, so now rotate your camera to look on from the side, like you're looking straight ahead. I want to see something, because I think your camera is actually a lot higher than you think it is.
Oh, it probably is because I'm zoomed in so much. I'm absolutely maxed
Oh,
in
yeah.
on the zooming.
It is. Okay, so now you need to zoom out and then pan the camera down. Oh. Well. Yeah. It's a little easier if you can get like your bearings, and because you just want to center the sprinkle from this angle now.
I don't even know where the sprinkle is anymore.
The cylinder.
Yeah. I mean, I know what it is. It's just, maybe it is right there. Actually, I think it is right there.
It's that orange dot, I think.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny object, yeah. It's a little bit better. Okay, so then hit tilde, and then just go to front. And then pan down. Oh. So, yeah. for some reason it's not centering on it, but that's okay. So hit tilde and go to front again. One of these views, we should see the sprinkle in front of the donut. Yeah, and then just pan downward. All right, so that should have helped,
Yeah.
but not totally, right?
No, it's still not.
All right, so now go, instead of hit tilde and then do left. Okay, you're way zoomed out, or zoomed in. Zoom out. Let's see where you are in relation to everything. What the? Okay, there. Okay. So yeah, from here you should be able to kind of rotate, pan the camera to center the sprinkle and zoom in on the sprinkle. You should have some good control there. Otherwise, I could like swing by and try and center it for you.
I think you're gonna have to. I'm
Okay,
getting
I'll do
so
that. One
freaking.
second. Because there's a system preference for the actual scaling. Change it from meters to centimeters. Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, the camera's like actually right there now. It almost feels
Yeah.
like it's like actually there now. It just zoomed in from like a million miles away.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was trying to explain. It's such a weird concept, though. Oh, now I think I put you in object mode. Go back into edit mode.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And
then the
and then
vertices.
instead of vertices, we're going to select faces. Face select mode.
Okay.
And in the top left, you can see there's the dot, the edge, and the face icons in the corner, top left corner.
I think I'm still completely flustered. Okay, there we go. Faces.
There you go. Yep. And then we're going to select the top and the bottom faces.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to apparently round out the sprinkle so that it's not like some kind of a weird, hard angle, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we're
That's
rounding
what
out.
it was.
We're rounding out the edges, like
Okay,
an
okay.
actual sprinkle. I just
Sweet. I think he mentioned putting in a bevel, which would definitely help.
I still feel like I'm fighting this in a way that I wasn't before. Okay. Okay. I cannot easily get from the top of the cylinder to the bottom. It takes great effort. I can do it, but took like 30 whole seconds to get from the top of the cylinder to the bottom. Anyway, I selected, well, hopefully the other one's select. Oh, God.
And I think that's where we're
they're
at in the
both.
video now.
They're both selected,
cool.
yeah.
Clear
Cool.
when you do it, Control B. And now that we're in this state, as we pull
B.
out, we can change the amount of the bevel.
Okay.
And this is, you can see it's like, it's just adding a 45-degree angle on that corner there. But if you scroll up, it's going to add another level to it. And if you scroll up again, it's going to add another level to that. So we can very quickly create a rounded edge to the sprinkle. You don't want to go too much high because, again, this is going to be scattered all over the donut. You don't want to go too high poly. So that'll do. So that's a simple bevel operation, and it's very common when you're modeling. So yeah, Control B is how you do that.
Oh, cool.
All right, so look at that. We've got one sprinkle. So now we will need to create 3 more. So this is the small. So let's go Shift D and then X to just move it along the X axis. This is going to be the medium one. So edit mode. And I'm going to go into toggle wireframe and vertice select mode. And now selecting the top part of the sprinkle, hit G, Z.
Wait, he said Shift D?
Yeah, Shift D, and then I just got like a really wonky looking thing that'll.
I didn't get anything. Like, I still have my faces selected. You want to
I do
duplicate
too.
just the faces? Why does he just want to
I
duplicate
don't.
the faces?
I don't think
Oh, he said go to
Z,
go to
and
vertex
toggle
mode.
wireframe.
That's what it was. Okay,
and-
so then Shift D. But that's not right.
I'm going back.
And
Yeah.
3 more. So this is the small. So let's go Shift D and then X to just
He's
move
in
along the
object
X-axis.
mode.
This is going to be the medium one. So
Yeah,
X.
that makes
This
sense.
is the medium one. Okay. He lied to me.
I think my pill's way too, or my I think it's too long. S.
What you doing?
Nope. Trying to.
Scale it?
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
Z.
Z.
Yeah. So you can see on the tool the red, green, and blue.
Am I in the right thing?
Uh,
Don't actually know which mode I'm in at this point. Oh, here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm in object mode. Okay. Wasn't it
Alright.
like S and then
yeah.
X for the X-axis to make it? Well, no, not the X-axis. Which the one?
you want to do S and then Z.
Z. Okay. There. Yeah. That was my third guess.
Of X, Y, and Z, yes.
Yep. It's still like really flat on the top. But maybe that's okay.
That's okay.
Well, that is okay because
Yep.
some of them are kind
Yep.
of flat on the top.
Sprinkles
So
are pretty
edit
flat.
mode?
They
Yeah.
get chopped.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into toggle wireframe and vertice select mode. And now selecting the top part of the sprinkle.
Toggle wireframe.
He says toggle wireframe, but what?
Hit G, select. I'm going to go into toggle wireframe. This is going to be the medium one.
That's right.
So
Okay,
edit mode. And I'm going to go into toggle wireframe.
there it is.
Oh,
and
X-ray. He meant
vertice
X-ray. I mean, same,
yeah.
it just kind of
Well-
same difference, but
Toggle X-ray. Yeah.
he's still in
will-
no, he's in edit mode.
He's in edit mode. Yeah.
Select mode. And now selecting the top part of the sprinkle, hit G, Z, and I'm going to move, oops, if you've got proportional editing, turn that off. G, Z, move that up. Okay, that'll be the medium one. Yep. And now Shift D, X, move it along. This is going to be the long one.
So hold up, I didn't need duplicate. I forgot to do that.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Shifty. Yeah. Yep. And it's correct now too. Yeah.
Shift D X. Move it along the x-axis over here. And I think I see a pattern.
So this one is the one that he's actually on. I'm just gonna Shift D again.
Yeah, Shift D to duplicate, and then you pop over to edit mode, grab the vertices at the top, and then G to move, and then Z to isolate to the Z axis, and then you make them longer or shorter, however you want. I think I'm gonna. I can say that for later.
Oh yeah, and then that was another thing too. Switching to vertices instead of faces.
Yes. So you can grab those vertices at the top of the mesh and then relocate them.
So edit mode, and again, Shift D, X, move it along. This is going to be the long one. So edit mode, and again, G,
X,
Z,
D.
move it up.
GXD, what?
What? High school DxD?
I almost said it.
I'm the ace, and I'm the one throwing out the dirty jokes. Okay, I see what's going on here.
And this is going to be the long sprinkle. I don't go too long, maybe that long. Okay. And then I want to make a bang.
Just make sure I'm doing this right. Why don't I feel like I have more vertices than he does? Or maybe I do.
Well, let me tell you a look here. Oh, you do. That's why.
Yeah, all right.
That's okay
whatever.
though. No, you the way that you made your sprinkle, you added a lot of geometry to the tips.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up?
I'm not gonna lie. That just drained me completely, the whole 20 minutes of not trying to figure out how to work a camera.
It was about 6, and I totally understand. And I was going to suggest a break at this
Yeah.
juncture because it's 8.
Yeah.
And it's time for a break. So
The fact that I think that 6 minutes took 20 minutes too is like that's probably
Yeah,
saying something too.
these are very obscure, almost eldritch strange logic tools that don't make sense to people who haven't used them. So you're going through the same kind of frustrations that everybody else has gone through.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. Let's go to intermission
Yeah.
and let's go. I don't know. Let's go to the gas station. Get something to
Yeah.
munch on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. BRB.
Yep, we are, well, break. We're taking a break.
Yeah. Oh, actually, today I'm in live playing. Okay. Three sprinkles. Oh, well, you just spawned them and then started editing them immediately. Yeah. Yep. I think it's because you're just simply accidentally selecting the table. You can select them in the menu on the right-hand side of the screen as well. And the weird thing is sometimes they don't deselect when you really want them to. Yeah. Oh, well, you press G and then you press Z to lock to the Z axis. Well, right click to, or press escape to get out of that. Yeah. Oh. Cylinder. Wait, you are? Try just moving one at a time. I'm not sure why it was moving along the plane. That's weird. Try a different viewing angle. Rotate the camera. Oh, because it's operating off of mouse over. That's weird. Because if you zoom out enough, yeah, it was operating on mouse over of the actual plane itself. Remember to lock it to Z. Oh, okay. All right. Floating pills. And you remember to make them 3 different lengths. Oh, yeah, you just grab their vertices. In fact, if I were you, you see in the scene collection, I would like make all the other assets invisible just so that you don't accidentally select anything else. So you've got, you're in edit mode. Your S to scale, so instead of S, use G to move. You're still, from what I can see. Oh, you did? Wow. S scales, you want G to move. I think that's an optical illusion. Yep, that's an optical illusion. Remember to select the specific sprinkle. Oh, we got the extra vertex there, yeah. Okay, so there's something that I learned, and this is going to be a tangent that's actually relevant. Something about oh, you're moving them without locking into Z. Yeah, gotcha. Um, selecting vertices can be weird. Sometimes if you want to select vertices in a certain area and not anything else, you may struggle. You might accidentally like select a few extra vertices. And if you need to be more precise, just Control I to invert your selection. And then, like, let's say you've, for example, you can't, obviously this object is way too simple to have any real issues, but you're having issues selecting the one vertex from, like, the middle. And if you do, like, a Control plus, then you're selecting way too many vertices. You can, let's see, I've got all of my vertices at the top selected. If I hit Control I, then yeah, I don't know, like it's just a selection tool, and like I'm trying really hard to find examples of why it would be useful. Oh, yeah, the invert, that's right. Yeah, that was in this project. I think that's the point I wanted to bring up, is like going invert and then selecting the vertices that you need either selected or deselected, and then inverting your selection again to get you what you actually want is actually much more significant in 3D modeling than the video would have let you know. All right, so sprinkles.
Bent sprinkle. It's slightly like curved. So Shift D, X, move it across. And now with this one, if I was to try to like curve this out, there's not enough information here. Like if I move that, it's just a straight edge there. So if I want to make it curved, I got to have more geometry there. So like we've done in the past, Control R is how you create a loop cut. So when you do that, it says where do you want to put it. I want more than one though. So I'm going to scroll up till I get, yeah, just a bunch of loops until I get what looks like square faces on those points, somewhere around that. I don't want to go too high poly. Yeah, face.
I have.
Till I get is where do you want?
I don't know. It's weird. Like when I have one of my sprinkles selected, I see the vertexes of another sprinkle are accessible. I don't know. Whatever.
So if I want to make it curved, I got to have more geometry there. So like we've done in the past, Control R is how you create a loop cut. So when you do that, it says where do you want to put it. I want more than one though, so I'm going to scroll up till I get, yeah, just a bunch of loops until I get what looks like square faces on those points, somewhere around that. I don't want to go too high poly. Yeah, like that. What is that? That's in the bottom left-hand corner. 8 cuts. Okay. Click. And then it's saying where do you want to place it. Right click to cancel the movement so it places it right in the center. And now, there we go. Okay, now we've got this one over here that is just long and straight but low poly, and this one same shape but high poly. So to add a bend to it, in previous tutorials, I actually went into like edit mode and we did like proportional editing, and it was just complicated and it actually didn't look great. I've learned actually there's a modifier that'll do it very simply. Go to your modifier stack, add modifier. You could find it inside here, or you could search for it, but it's the simple deform modifier. So add that, and by default it is wrong, so change it from twist to bend. And look at that, we've got our sprinkle. Ha! And you can very easily, whoops, change the amount from a little curve to a large curve. And I think somewhere around the 30-degree mark. You will notice though that it's like it's bent more at this angle, and that's because it's bending it according to the origin point. So you see these little dots? You might have wondered what they are in Blender. That's called your origin point, and it's used for a lot of things. Like if you rotate an object, you can see it's rotating from the point of that origin point. Like physics, a bunch of things use the origin point. The best way to think of it is like the center of mass for the object. So generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, you want it to be in the center of the object.
Whoa.
And you can do it very quickly. You select multiple objects. You want to clear its origin point. Shift, select all of them, and then right click, and then say set origin to geometry. And now you can see it's put it in the middle. And now our curve is actually based on the starting in the middle, which is what we want.
Oh, let me take a look, because I did a lot of origin work with some stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you see that orange dot on your sprinkle? So that is... It is that... Well, it's considering that the center of mass. So you can right-click... what was it? And then... Jeez, was it edit mode and object mode? Object mode, right click, set origin to geometry. So the origin of that object becomes the object's center of mass. Yeah. There you go. Oh, really? The orange dot moved. Oh, the bend. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. You don't have enough geometry. You cut it. Go into edit mode, please. Okay, that's weird. Why is that not working? Why is that not working? Try changing it to the y-axis. Oh no, that's the angle. You can leave the angle at 45. That was fine. Whoa. How's Z working? Okay, maybe it's supposed to be bending it though, but like. Well, that's Z. Try Y now. Maybe he has some additional instructions.
So yay for us. Now I need to apply this or else the next part it'll go wonky. So apply your simple deform so that it's actually realized onto the mesh. Okay, so going to your outline, you can see we've
Okay, back it up a bit.
and that's a little curve from in simple issue but high poly. So to add a bend to it, in previous tutorials, I actually went into like edit mode and we did like proportional editing, and it was just complicated and it actually didn't look great. I've learned actually there's a modifier that'll do it very simply. Go to your modifier stack, add modifier. You can find it inside here, or you could search for it, but it's the simple deform modifier. So add that, and by default it is wrong, so change it from twist to bend. And look at that. We've got our sprinkle. Ha! And you can very easily, change the amount from a little curve to a large curve. And I think some
I'm so. It really shouldn't be twisting like that. Save, kill the app, and relaunch the app. Simple deform bend. Speaking of which, I should save. I feel like I've run into that issue before as well. Right, let me look this up on simple deform modifier. Oh, maybe. Object mode. Okay. I think one potential issue is that when it was in object mode, it got rotated, but the rotation didn't apply. So go back into object mode and hit Control A. Or undo out of the modifier. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Control A to apply, and we're going to hold on. Let me find it again. Apply the rotation. Yeah, the rotation. Yeah. And then, yep. And then go into edit mode. Apply object transform. What is that? Whatever. Now you've got all those selected. Tap to deselect all of the vertices. Mine selected, but I want to see. Go back to object mode. And then go ahead and add that modifier, that simple deform. What's going on? Simple diff. What is going on here? Maybe origin? Yeah, give that a shot. Is yours in a vertex group by any chance? Oh. Yeah. Mesh. And then, yeah, cylinder. Oh, ha! It was a long boy. Oh. Oh, scale to Z. As in, like, you hit S on the keyboard and then hit Z on the keyboard. Yeah. Oh my. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. I imagine myself as a crab trying to use this software. Just kind of like shift. Yeah. Uh, there are some species of crab that can, I think. Yeah. Try locking it to Z. Oh yeah, there you go. You got it. Now look at it from above. When you look at it from above, you want your subject to be kind of in the center of the screen, and then you can rotate your camera and zoom in from there. That's a excuse me, I keep needing to clear my throat. That's how I find like is the best way to kind of get back. And I also like to keep um, the objects as close to 0 on Z as possible. Maybe just a little bit above if I, to keep it working above the 0 plane, but hmm. What do you focus? Oh, right, yeah. So go into face select mode. So you're in object mode, so go to edit mode and then switch from vertex to face. Hmm. Ah, okay. Let me swing over. Wah. All right, you back with me? What's up? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so go back to object mode and then apply the simple deform modifier. Oh shit, we forgot. I can't believe I forgot. Okay. Undo in the undo history to before applying the modifier. Yeah. Because we forgot to put in the bending geometry. So hit Control R, right? Or does it have enough? No, it doesn't have any segments along the side, does it? Because we're cutting new segments in with Control R, and you use the mouse wheel scroll up because you want 8 segments, and it displays that in the bottom left. And then you click once, and then you can move, but you don't need to move it, so you right click to center it. Yep. And then we do the bend modifier. I'm not really sure. I know that, I don't know. It could have just been a fluke because like the geometry was there. It is there in the other objects, but the software doesn't really see it. I don't know. One last thing would be like Control A to apply. Oh yeah. Good call, good call. But like, yeah, there's an apply, and then you can just apply everything. Just apply all transforms. So that's another thing. You did not. Yeah, you want them different. I mean, I'm just talking about like how I had issues because I didn't apply my rotation. There's an apply everything. So I'm not really sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, perfect. Sometimes. Oh yeah.
It's bent more at this angle, and that's because it's bending it according to the origin point. So you see these little dots? You might have wondered what they are in Blender. That's called your origin point, and it's used for a lot of things. Like if you rotate an object, you can see it's rotating from the point of that origin point. like physics, a bunch of things use the origin point. The best way to think of it is like the center of mass for the object. So generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, you want it to be in the center of the object. And you can do it very quickly. You select multiple objects. You want to clear its origin point. Shift, select all of them, and then right click, and then say set origin to geometry. And now you can see it's put it in the middle. And now our curve is actually based on the starting in the middle, which is what we want. So yay for us. Now I need to apply this or else the next part it'll go wonky. So apply your simple deform so that it's actually, realized onto the mesh. Okay, so going to your outline, you can see we started from humble beginnings, but we've now got too much going on and it's all starting to get a little bit chaotic. So the way you organize things in your outline and in Blender generally is you can group things together by creating collections. So by default, we've actually got one collection already, just called collection, but we can create new collections by this little button in the top right-hand corner to create a new collection. And I want to create it outside of our, I mean, I don't actually know if we need, like, I don't know why it creates a collection for you. For no, I mean, you could just, it's in the scene collections. Anyways, I don't know if we actually need that one. So we create a new collection just by hitting that, and we can double click it to rename it to be whatever it is we want. So I'm going to call this sprinkles, okay? And because we have two types of sprinkles, we have the sphere round sprinkle, and then we have these long sprinkles, I'm going to create two other collections within this collection. So hitting new again, you can see it's placed it underneath it, and I'm going to call this one round. And then clicking sprinkles again, I'll add another collection, and this one I will call long. Oh, wait, sorry, this one, long. There we go. Okay, so to move something to a collection, you can do it one of two ways. One, you can select the sphere, which is the round. Remember, it's this little guy over here, the little tiny round sprinkle. You can just drag that into the that collection, and you can see it's now moved it there. The other way is in your 3D viewport. If you select all of the objects that you want to move to a new collection, hit M, and it brings up this, and you just say move to the sprinkles long sub collection. There we go. And now they're all moved there. And now this one here, if you wanted to give this a name, you could. We got the camera, we got the light, we got the plane. Yeah, you know what? Let's move our donut and our icing. Let's move that to a new collection as well. So M, and we can actually create a new collection from the move options as well. So I'm going to go new, and let's call this let's say donuts, because we're going to duplicate it and make more donuts in the future. So donuts. Okay, great. So now this one here has got the camera, the light, and the plane. So I'm going to do what I sometimes do with a scene is just call this.
Yeah. How did he make a new collection? Yeah. Ah, new collection. Gotcha. Sweet. Now where did it? There it is. Okay. Okay. Where'd that go? What the? I have already made several of those mistakes. Yeah. I'm also doing my own hierarchy based on, what I feel like is my own logic.
This one and duplicate it and make more new. We can actually our donut and at the light. If you wanted to give this a name, you could. We got the camera, we got the light, we got the plane. Yeah, you know what? Let's move our donut and our icing. Let's move that to a new collection as well. So M, and we can actually create a new collection from the move object.
Sphere from the sprinkles, the round sprinkle. Yeah, the we have a sphere that all the little round sprinkles are based off of. That's the root object. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you would do. Is eventually you would just hide that. Actually, at some point, you would even apply the. Where is it? It's on the ice, and you'd eventually apply the geometry node, and then all that geometry that's created in the geometry node modifier becomes part of the new mesh on the icing, and then you could delete that sphere because you no longer need it. Yeah. But I think you could even delete it now, to be perfectly honest. No, you still need, right? Yeah, we still need it, I think. Yeah, we do. It's just at the end of the project when everything is done, then you apply all of your modifiers. You've got you save before that, and you apply all your modifiers. You make a new save, and you have your final mesh project. Yeah. Anyway, we can continue.
Options as well. So I'm going to go new, and let's call this let's say donuts, because we're going to duplicate it and make more donuts in the future. So donuts. Okay, great. So now this one here has got the camera, the light, and the plane. So I'm going to do what I sometimes do with a scene is just call this one ENV, which is for environment. Since this is a tutorial, I'll actually just type it out. I'm not going to be lazy. Environment. Okay, so we've got some organization in our scene so that as we add and grow our scene, it's not going to get too crazy. All right, so it's also good that we've created collections because we can now use that to scatter across the geometry nodes. So with our donut here, so the icing and the donut, we're going to create a duplicate, and this is going to be the variant with the long sprinkles. So Shift D and then hit X to move it along the X axis. So it's just placed next to it, and then clicking your icing, you can see we've got the modifier stack that we created the geometry nodes on. And if we were to start tweaking this and make this look like long sprinkles, it would apply to this one over here, because we can see that little number next to it. And that number, if you hover over it, I think we mentioned it before, but displays the number of users sharing this data. So any change you make to this is going to be reflected on that one. So if we click the 2 button, it's now independent, so we'll now have two different versions. So the one on the left, the one, the original one, let's call that round sprinkles, and the one on the right, let's call that one long. Brain fart for a second there. Long sprinkles. Okay. And now,
Oh
with
shit!
that,
Hold on. Pause.
objects.
Did he duplicate the? Yeah, he duplicated the icing as well. Okay. Wait. Icing. Do I have? Why do I have two icings? Why is? Wait. What? Okay. No, I think I know what it is. It's showing the icing as a child of the donut, but then if you want to actually interact with the icing itself as an object, it's there. Yeah, those are just attributes. I see what he's saying now. Okay, Control D. No, why can't I duplicate this? What the fuck? How is he duplicating his shit? Duplicate objects, Shift D. Oh, now I got it. Shift D. Oh, I thought it was... Okay, well, there's my duplicate donut. Yep, so did I. Okay, and then now he's geometry node. I'm on the new donut and the new icing. I'm on the new icing. I come down here to geometry node and I click on where it says 2. The new... Oh. Ah, gotcha. And turn this geometry node group into geometry nodes .002. Okay. And I think I am caught up now.
Selected.
Oh, he is?
Let's go
Geometry
back
nodes?
to the geometry nodes tab. Okay.
Yep, okay.
All right,
now
so
we
make sure
do.
you're looking at the right object. Make sure it's the one with long sprinkles in the name. And if we were to start editing here, we would have one where we would have...
It's the .001 is the duplicate, yes.
made one big mistake, and it's because this is actually not the long sprinkles node setup. We clicked the pin button. Remember that? The pin means it's always going to be there, even if it's another object with a different geometry node setup. So remember,
I didn't.
Yeah, it's a common mistake. You always do it. You forget you've got pin on, and then you start changing things, and it...
So is mine. Yeah.
does the wrong one. So make sure you're looking at the one that has long sprinkles in the name. Okay, so the bit that obviously matters the most is this bit where it goes into...
He did. I mentioned it, but that's okay. Go back into layout view. and I'm kind of walking you through this while I do something. So, and then you go over to the modifiers, I believe. No. Okay, so yeah, modifiers, and where do you see where it says geometry nodes? Next to that will be a box with a number 2. Click on that. And it turns it into geometry nodes .002. So it's a whole new nodes group. Exactly. Yeah. And then you can go back into geometry nodes mode. Switch between the 2 different icings. You will have 2 different node groups. Got, where's that object that we set it to? Sprinkles. There we go. Right? Hold on. No, that's sprinkle density. It's a sphere, right? Oh, there it is. Okay. So then long sprinkle, long. Okay. I see. How are you doing?
To our instance on points node, and we've currently got it connected to a sphere. So, I mean, you could change that to another object, but that won't help us because we've got more than one object. We want to scatter 4 different objects across it. So we can delete that and instead just drag from your outliner. Don't just, if you click on it, if you click off it, it's just going to disappear. So make sure you don't do it. You've clicked the icing, but you need to click and drag into your node setup. And now it's got a collection info node rather than object info node. Drag that into your instance input, and nothing happened. It has actually happened, but it's off center in a weird place. Why is it doing that?
Failed to find.
It's because of the way 3D software handles data. It's now doing it on its like global or local position, not relative to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is check 3 boxes whenever you use collections to scatter. Separate.
Nope. Oh, wait. Oh, collection and... Oh, wait, where is this? Yeah, and we delete it, and then we put in a collection? Yeah. Oh, I see. So okay. Boom, like that. And then instances links to instance. Okay. And then separate children. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Reset children. Now it's on the mesh correctly.
Ooh.
And then you can see it's actually using all 4 of them on each point. So then you click pick instance, and now it's going to use 1 of those, not all 4 of them together. Okay, so it's good. It's using it, but what's going on? Well, the reason this one was easier, where it's round sprinkles, is that the rotation of the objects didn't matter because it was round. Now that we have long sprinkles, you can see the rotation matters, and it's currently screwed up. So
rotation matters.
The first way, well, yeah, there's a number of things you need to do to make it work correctly. You'll see, is we want to take the rotation of the face. So the face of these mesh here, we want it to affect the objects, right? So we take the output of our distribute points on faces, the rotation of that, and drag it into the rotation input of the instances. And now you can see it's having some effect. It's still not right, but that is because these sprinkles are currently just pointed upwards.
They're pointed at the normal now.
Okay, we want to point them all outwards. Anyways, to fix that, I mean, you could fix it you could actually fix it in geometry nodes. This is simpler. So if we just rotate those sprinkles along the x-axis, so R, X, right? And then we just want to lie them down flat. So essentially 90 degrees. You could type in 90 degrees, or holding down Control will move it in 5-degree increments. Okay, so 90, and then do a single click. Okay, so why has that not...
I think there's a caveat. So rotate X. Oh. By the way, you can type in a numerical value. So like you get your long sprinkles all selected, and you can do R for rotate, X to rotate along X, and then 90 for a 90-degree rotation. However, I don't think this is going to be suitable for our purposes, and I think we're going to find out why. Yeah. Now it's not
worked?
really having an
Well, it's
effect.
because, as I mentioned before, when you're scaling or rotating things, it's not actually saved to the object. So to apply it, you have to go Control A and then say rotation. Now that we've done that, it's worked correctly. All right. So
Not for me. Rotation. Oh, it worked for me. What the fuck? I just had to apply it twice, I guess. Now all the sprinkles look like they're in a path. That's a little better, but it's like they've got zebra stripes. Ah. Okay.
Hey, you can see what I said by you need to do a lot to make it work correctly. The rotation is working, but it's not doing what you would expect. And that's because geometry nodes are so flexible, you have to tell it exactly what you want to do. We want actually random rotation. So around each of the points, we don't want to each have the exact same rotation. We need to randomize it. So for that, if you want to tweak the rotation on anything between this point here, on this dotted blue line, let's just move that out of the way. We need to add Shift A, Utilities, Rotation.
A snoo? Yes. What are you looking at? Oh, sweet.
Rotate, not Euler, Euler. Yes, I know. They went with the weird pronunciation. I think it was a Frenchman, right? Could be German.
Euler. It's pronounced Euler. Rotation. What did you say? Rotate Euler. Rotate Euler. Yep. Okay. And then what are we doing it from? Distribute points on faces, on rotation. Okay. Damn, this is getting complicated. I'm gonna put these guys over here. Oh no, I gotta. Okay, damn. Oh, I got. On the line between distribute points on faces, rotation on the way to. Yeah, okay, cool. Yes.
German, doesn't matter, same, right? Just to annoy all the Europeans. Anyway, so rotate Euler, and we're just going to drop it on that line till it lines up. Okay, so nothing's happened currently, but with this, we could change the rotation of our sprinkles up here. But you'll notice that as you rotate it, it's kind of weird. It's not the rotation that you would expect for each point. It's the relative to the actual object as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Which just means we need to change from object to local.
Local.
And now, as you move it around, you can see we're able to rotate those sprinkles. But again, it's not changing the like randomizing it. It's giving a solid value. So to randomize it, if we drag out of the rotate by input and then type in random it'll bring up this, and we're looking for random value. Click, and now we get
Random
this.
value.
Ooh. So this node looks kind of
this is getting-
scary, right? It's got a whole bunch of different values in it, and it says vector, and it's very,
This
very
looks
foreign. It's
fucking
actually easy to
clean.
understand it from a float
Yeah.
point of view. With the random value, if it's in a float state, it's going to generate a value from 0 to 1 on each point. So if you've got like 10 points, one of them is going to be like 0.015, one is going to be like 0.92, and one's, whatever. When it's in vector state, it's the exact same thing. You've got min and you've got max, but there are 3 values. And the reason for that is that there are 3 axes. There's the x-axis, there's the
Oh,
y-axis,
hell yeah.
and there's the z-axis. And same here, right? So you're able to define what type of rotation on each axis. So if we set both, and by the way, if you want to change multiple values at once in Blender, you can just click and drag down, and then you can change all of them. So we set all of them to 0. And now you could see this bottom one is going to be the Z, because it's X, Y, Z. It doesn't tell you, like, I don't know, because it's vector math, I guess there's other areas of Blender, anyway. But this is the Z axis. If we increase this one, you can see that's the main one that we want to change, right? Because that's the one that makes the most difference. Now, you might also know, looking at this, you're probably thinking like, okay, well, we need to rotate it by 360 degrees, so we would set this to 360. But you can see they're more than rotating fully already. So what value is this exactly? This is radians. Oh, just to get real. So radians, degrees. Actually, I had to ask ChatGPT before I recorded this. What's the difference? Radians are more mathematical and easier for mathematical equations. It's the circumference of pi. No. 2 pi is the circumference. Look, obviously I don't know. But what I'm trying to tell you is you just need double pi to make it 360 degrees, which is actually tau, to make it really complicated. It's tau. So double pi, so pi is 3.142. Tau is double that. And anyways, you get the idea. So you can type in tau and it'll actually give you the correct value. So that's 360 degree rotation. We also want it, because you can see this is the other axes, like the middle one spinning around. So we also want it on that one, because we've got a curved one. So let's make that tau. And then this top one is the X, which is actually going to make it like wonky, like, so these will be like seesawing up. So if you increase that, that's where it gets crazy, and you don't really want to use that. You do want a little bit though, because it would make sense if they're sprinkles. They're not going to be completely flat. You're going to have some variance where like some bit has absorbed into the icing at a different angle than another, but just not too much, essentially, or else it starts to look like little marshmallows or whatever all over it. But guys, that's roughly it. That's the hard work. That was, I mean, I know that was very technical, but it was just 2 nodes. Rotate Euler, set it to local, and then this random value, and we're changing that to rotate it. And we did it. We got nice looking rotation. Now, one thing we do have to change is the distance min. So because these longer sprinkles obviously are bigger, then the distance min has to change as well. So we can change that to something that makes sense. Let's go 0.04.
Okay.
That might have actually been pretty perfect. Let's try 3. 3's got a little bit. Oh, actually, you know what? The other thing, again, looking at reference, I like those big chunky looking sprinkles. So I want these to be bigger. So we could, alter the scale of the actual sprinkles, but we're working with geometry nodes and we've actually got a scale value right here. So we could change it here just as easily. So the scale, dragging down, and again, there's not just one value, there's 3 axes, so X, Y, Z, so drag down on all. 1.5 is going to give us some nice, big, chunky looking sprinkles. And now this distance value needs to be a lot bigger. So let's go 0.06. That's actually pretty good. I'm getting pretty big, chunky looking sprinkle. And there's not here. So we could change it here to sprinkles. So I want these to be bigger.
Oh.
So we could, alter the scale of the actual sprinkles, but we're working with geometry nodes and we've actually got a scale value right here. So we could change it here just as easily. So the scale, dragging down, and again, there's not just one value, there's 3 axes, so X, Y, Z, so drag down on all. 1.5 is going to give us some nice, big, chunky looking sprinkles. And now this distance value needs to be a lot bigger. So let's go 0.06. That's actually pretty good. I'm getting pretty good at nailing it. 0.0, no, I was right before. There's always going to be some overlap, right? You're not going to be able to stop it because it's not doing object like collisions. It's nothing like that. It's a very simple, again, it's doing a point and then it's creating a radius around it. And if you do the correct amount, which for this is probably something like this, then it looks way too predictable and boring, which we don't want. So 0.006 looks pretty good for me with a scale of 1.5 for these. And that is it. I was going to put in the random color in this part of the tutorial, but I think we've gone over already. So join me in the next part and we will finally add some color to our sprinkles and make this look nice.
Yeah. Yes, we did. The horse knocked you off, but you got right back on top of that burly bronco. Hmm. Glitch? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember seeing them. They spoke for a little bit. Yeah. Well, we got through everything. Yeah. Yeah, if we did, we would just kind of. Yeah. I mean, we could go for another half an hour, but this was a fairly draining endeavor. You're right. The camera does get frustrating at times, and for some reason, your camera's a little more sensitive than mine, and I don't know if there are any preferences that we can look into for that. But and I would be shocked if there wasn't some kind of a plugin or an extension for that. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I remember like going through that struggle of trying to figure out why the fuck can I not move through my environment. But going through the weekly class assignments, like eventually it just clicked. I got a better understanding for how it wanted to be used, and it's frustrating. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you will. Oh, yeah. I would not be surprised. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm happy with the way my sprinkles turned out at the very least. Yeah, and yeah, and there's more videos. Looks like there's like a collection. He's got a donut with a bunch of different types. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, shit! Seriously? Oh, well, what do you know? All right. Hopefully, hopefully we can get through the next one a little more quickly then. We both had a lot of snags on this one. But oh, okay. Well, sweet. All right, then. We'll call it here, and I guess we'll see everyone next week. I might see everybody Saturday. I might be linking up with Bootleg Randy to do probably some Lethal Company on Saturday, but we'll see. I don't know yet. We don't have any plans, so. As for me, I am Technis Kaltorak. This was Yuki from the channel Once Dearly Beloved over on Twitch and YouTube. Go ahead and give him a follow. Thank you, everybody, so much, and I'll see you next week. Yuki, is there anything you want to throw in at the very end? Ooh. Stream that. Stare at TNA. Do it then. You can build a pretty good community playing gotcha games. Like, people follow gotcha gamers. Oh, yeah. It's also not necessarily something you want to pigeonhole yourself into, but you know. Yeah. Well, there are people who are, but like, fuck, I just had a thought. There was a game. People crap on it because it's a gotcha game. Yeah. The Stellar Jades. Okay, okay. Oh. So it's actually fun to play. Yeah. Oh, they just gave you a free character. All right. Ah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's not a bad subscription for a game service. Yeah. There's like a super. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, speaking of JRPGs, we'll switch topics and talk about Final Fantasy 14 online. Oh, I've been going at it still, like, yeah, I've got my character up to Lancer 30, and my crafting classes are level 20 now. So like, I've ki- no, I was waiting to try and figure out like how I need to talk to McDarmo because like I wanted to join his what are they called, free companies, his guild. But I think he's on a server with a super high population. So I'll figure that out. If I can't even get on his server, then I'll probably just make my own company on like the lowest population server, and then we can go from there. But yeah, like I'm enjoying it. It's been really chill. The story's been really slow, but I think things are finally starting to pick up. Um, and I think I've finally gotten to the point. Well, I've got dungeons unlocked now, and that's kind of the main cooperative play in Final Fantasy, right? Just the dungeons, the instances, and then later levels. You know, late game it's going to be like the main huge raids and stuff. But I've finally got dungeons unlocked. I've done several already, and yeah, those are fun. Those are fun. You go in, you got a good team. You can really just stomp, just charge straight through dungeons. So I'm waiting for the game to get difficult. You know, everything's just kind of handed to you in an MMO, and like I haven't even dropped below 75% health from enemies at all. There's that too, yeah. But I also like really like crafting, like in general. So once I don't know, if you want to go back into Final Fantasy, let me know. If not, we can do other things. I still want to keep doing Blender, but like I'm gonna just kind of chill with Final Fantasy for now. So let me know. Let me know, and then I'll let you know what's going on with McDarmo. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye bye, everybody. Good night.